Hello and welcome to the ImproveYourPool.com World 8-Ball Pool Championships, coming to you from the Norbreck Hotel in Blackpool. We're at the ladies' final and always a cracker in this one. One lady has dominated the last decade and she's back in the final again. It's Sue Thompson up against the current champion who finally beat her last year, Emma Cunningham. With me to enjoy it is the former semi-finalist in this event and one who knows this game very well, and obviously the players involved as well. Vicky Layton, welcome aboard. And first of all, Sue, she's been unstoppable over the years, but Emma did beat her last year, so it's going to be interesting today, isn't it, with the same two again?
It's going to be very interesting, but to be fair to Sue last year, she didn't really get chances. Emma was always first at the table and just, you know, clearing up all the time, and Sue never had a chance, really. So this year it would be quite interesting to see. Sue does get her chances.
So, as I said, it's the #1 seed, Emma Cunningham, who is the world champion at the moment, up against Sue Thompson, obviously seeded #2, as these two were the finalists last year. Now, I guess the question is, Vicky, who's the form lady at the moment?
Sue is the informed lady at the moment, and through the whole year last year, Emma did win it last year, but Sue is the one that's been winning more titles. Emma hasn't really done a lot since winning the World Championships.
All right, well, let's talk about their road to the final, because obviously you can also tell a little bit about the form from that. Starting with Emma Cunningham, let's have a look. She beat Michelle Rooney 6-2, 7-4 and 7-4, and no real surprises, Vicky.
No, quite comfortable really getting to the final. She's been playing well in this championships. You know, she said tactical-wise not so good, she says, but I don't know, she looks and feels quite confident this year again to take the title.
Okay, well, the lady from Runcorn has been unstoppable, as we've said, over the last decade. And again, let's take a look at her run to the final. 6-2, 7-1, 7-3. Pretty impeccable. Yeah,
again, no real challenge really for Sue this year. Like I said, she's playing really, really well. She's playing some awesome stuff at the moment, so she's going to take a lot of stopping.
Well, we can take a look at how well they've been playing, because Jim White, our man on the spot, has been down there at the semi-final stages to see the girls playing.
Ladies semi-final action, the always tough to beat Sue Thompson from Scotland, 6-time world title holder, bidding for a place for her 13th final. It's going to be some task, always difficult to beat Sue. Whereas we've got some international flavor, the second semi-final on the other table from Australia, Lyndall Element. She's up against a defending champion from England, Emma Cunningham. Well, it's yet another final for Sue Thompson, 6-time world champion. Sue, is it going to be lucky 7?
Hopefully this year, yes. I've been playing really well, so I look forward to the final.
She doesn't say much, but I know she's confident. And, well, Vicky, it's always tense out there, and you know, we talk about the form and the expectations, and you were saying earlier you think Sue's going to take it, but you never can tell what can happen in the sort of cauldron-like atmosphere. You suddenly get there to the final, you've been to the semis, you know what it's like, the pressure gets to you, and you don't play as well as you perhaps know you can.
Yeah, well, I just feel that Sue will take this title this year. Even though Emma is the world champion, I think that she's still got a lot to learn. She's still a little bit inexperienced, whereas Sue's won it 6 times. I just feel that it's all going to come together for Sue today.
Would you like to see Emma win, though? Because she's obviously the girl who's the coming lady, as it were.
Well, yeah, you know, she's a lovely girl, and, you know, she's deserved to be in the final again. I mean, she's basically, a few years ago, come from nowhere, made the semi-final straight away, and to go on and win it a couple of years later, it's just, you know, it's brilliant. Brilliant for the game.
All right, thanks, Vicky. And, well, they're about to get underway, so let's, without further ado, go down to the table. It's a repeat of last year's final. The current world champion, Emma Cunningham, up against Sue Thompson, who's won this tournament 6 times. Your commentary team today are Sean Baker, Lee Kendall, and, of course, Jim Weish. But first, Scott and Dave.
Take on their 7th crown. Please give it up for the pride of Scotland, Sue Thompson!
Ladies and gents, Sue Burton today became the youngest ever female to win the World Championships last year when she beat Sue. Please give it up for the one and only Emma Cunningham.
The ladies' world final. The defending champion from Northern Ireland, Emma Cunningham, up against the lady that has been so dominant in this particular event, Sue Thompson, 6-time world champion. The lag and the closest white to that cushion they've just cued over will break in the opening frame. And
Sue Thompson wins the lag.
It was a great lag from Sue. 6 times she has held the cup above her head. And Sean Baker, you've been watching all the action here, you know, all week alongside me. And
first frame, Sue Thompson to break.
I mean, we were trying to predict the scores before this started out, and you know, we know that Emma beat Sue last year, but does she really have a fair chance here?
No, I think Sue's going to be too strong for Emma this year. I think Sue desperately wants that world title back. She hated losing it last year. I know, speaking to her immediately afterwards, she said Emma had played well and fair play to her, but she said, I'll be back next year for my title back.
Absolutely. I'd also like to welcome into the commentary box Lee Kendall. He's the English team captain, and this is a great final. Without a doubt, the 2 best players in the world right now, Lee.
That's right, Jim. The number 1 seed against the number 2 seed. Sue Thompson is a favourite going into this match, but she's up against the current world champion. And there will be nerves in both camps here.
And Emma knows that Sue is beatable. She proved it to herself last season. It's all about self-belief and execution.
And the girls only ever play on this 8-foot table once a year, so they only get 12 months to put it right.
Yeah, I was speaking to Emma though before this final, and she said she prefers to be out there on the 8-foot table. She said so much more space. She said providing I can make a ball, I'll be very happy. And she was confident, but I've refed her a couple of times this week in previous rounds and qualifying matches, and she just doesn't seem to quite have played as well as you'd have expected of a world champion.
Now, I know that Sue Thompson used to play on the men's tour. Lee, does she still compete with the men?
She doesn't know. She's just on the ladies tour. They changed it so only men can play on the men's tour and the ladies can only play on the ladies tour.
Great shot there from Emma. She just opened that pocket, played it off the red to free it for the other 2 yellows that you see.
But over the years, there used to be a player called Linda Ledbetter, and she used to push Sue Thompson all the way. And when Sue knew that somebody believed that they could beat her, and she was a little bit more edgy in the match, and that could be a factor in this match.
Well, this is a great start for the defending champion. She knows what it's like to hold that crown for 12 months, and apparently she doesn't want to relinquish it lightly.
No, I think she struggled with that crown, Jim, for a few months afterwards. She didn't seem to play particularly well on the ladies' tour, and she readily admits that. But as you say, I don't think she wants to relinquish that title easily to Sue here. She's made a mistake there, this opening frame.
But the saving grace for Emma here is you've got the red on the left-hand side rail, and the 8 ball is next to the yellow, as she's just pointing out now, so she's just seeing where it can go or whether she can split it out. So she's just got to be careful here, a little bit of work to do. So it could be the double. It's a great shot.
Worked well, but still, red's on the right-hand side of the table. The 2 just below that center pocket. On the left-hand side as we look now. She's got a lot of work to do, Lee, and not to forget where the 8 is placed.
Yeah, she cleared one problem, so she's put herself in a good position to take the finish on, and you'll notice that Sue does like to take the finishes on.
Oh, she always attacks the balls, doesn't she? Without a doubt. She goes for game at the earliest opportunity. But she's a supremely confident player. She knows if she plays her game, she's going to walk away with the first prize check.
Yeah, and she's got one good positional shot to play to get on the 8 ball to take the first frame, and she's just looking where she wants to leave the cue ball for a nice angle on the last red. That looks pretty good.
Got to draw up the left-hand side of the table and play that 8, and it looks like into the right middle, right where the cue ball is situated now. This is a nail biter to open accounts.
And she was shaking on that one. I don't know if you noticed that. There was a little movement in her body. That's why she missed it. Early nerves.
First chance. Falling to the 6-time title holder here, but that one never looked in from the outset.
Yeah, just a slight wobble there. But it gives Emma a good chance to take the first frame now. Not played. Sorry, Sean, she's not played a very good shot.
No, she hasn't, Lee. And this is what something else Emma was talking about. She said, if I'm going to win this title, I need to get out with a fast start. You know, if I can open up a lead early on, and it'll give me the edge over Sue. And she did have a good chance, but as you say, Lee, she's run out of position straight away.
Yeah, I think the shot selection wasn't very good there. She needed to get the cue ball right up the table, then she would have a choice of 3 balls instead of playing just on the one at the bottom.
She's trying to play the snooker here. She's not made it, I don't think. Sue can see that. Whether she can actually pot it, it's available, bottom left.
Second bite of the cherry here for Sue. I mean, it almost looks as though she's looking to the left-hand side of the table, so she may have to play this into the other corner. And she did.
And where's the cue ball going? Well, that's quite good for Emma because it's just gone on the bottom rail. So it's not over the bag, it takes a little bit of pressure off Emma. And it is history, like I said earlier on in this frame. When she knows somebody can beat her, she does get a little bit unsettled.
That's not perfect again. So you really can't see Emma taking the finish out here.
And she must have to think that she's had 2 good chances now to get back into this frame, and both times she just ran out of position with the cue ball. So just a containing shot here. I'd say probably send the yellow up to the black pocket, leave the white safe, take a bit of pressure off her.
Got to be careful though, Lee. The last thing she wants to do is pocket this yellow.
Yeah, just I mean, there's no value in potting the yellow.
30 seconds.
And she just knocked it to the side rail, so pressure back on herself.
I'm going to say, I think that was a nothing shot, to be honest, Lee. She just left it safe.
Yeah, she should have concentrated on bumping the yellow all the way up to the 8-ball pocket.
But you know they'll both settle, and once they do, the fireworks will start.
She can just afford to just roll that towards the pocket. That's exactly what she's done.
Puts the pressure back on Emma.
And then it just shows the value of that poor shot by Emma in the previous visit. She'd left that yellow in the middle of the table. She would have given herself a lot better chance here, taking this frame.
And Sue knows that Emma's got to play a very good shot here. And she's just looking whether she can just roll up to that side cushion in the top right-hand corner and leave the cue ball hidden behind that yellow ball.
Yeah, there's only 2 choices. One to try and duck behind that yellow on the right-hand side, and the second choice would be to try and feather the yellow at the top of the table over the black ball corner.
That one's fraught with danger, Jim. This is a safer option.
Got to be the right speed here. And looks as though she's covered the black.
Total snooker.
I mean, there is a possibility of Sue coming off the side cushion here and potting the 8-ball. That'd be a great shot. But at worst, she wants it over the pocket. And it is a total snooker, so she doesn't need to hit a rail. Which she hasn't done. But she's promoted the yellow over the top left-hand corner.
And she's left an angle there. I think Emma could come round to take that yellow, the right-hand yellow, or the bottom as you're looking now on your screen, into the top right-hand corner pocket.
Yeah, it does look a little bit thin though, so you just have to watch a cue ball doesn't go into that middle pocket on the right hand side of the table.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what her concern is. She knows that the angle is going to be taking that cue ball menacingly close to that side pocket.
And she just showed just a little bit of experience there, Jim. I mean, Sue's a more experienced player, but she knows she's a little bit nervous and she's just taking that extra time.
Time running.
30 seconds.
Well, this is a strange choice of shot because that 8-ball goes. She must make this ball. That 8-ball will go inside the yellow off the rail.
Very strange choice, but she must obviously feel as though Sue can't pocket this. And she may look to rue that decision. A great 8 from Sue Thompson. Boy, is that one gonna hurt. 1-0 over Emma Cunningham. Frame number 2. The defending champion, and there the cue ball is in the front row.
Yeah, and that's Melvin. I think
Foul,
he was
two visits.
at long leg there.
Time
He's finished that far away.
Now
And the difference here, Jim, between the cue ball finishing in a pocket and finishing off the table is it's 2 visits, not 1. You see here.
I mean, it actually did hit the cushion before it departed the playing surface. Emma's smiling. She sees the humor in that, but she may be spending a little time in her chair.
Yellow ball's in
I
play.
don't think she'll find much humor in that.
No, I wouldn't be smiling if I was out there. 2 visits with all the yellows in the open. So from a nervous start from Sue, she's been given the first frame, and now she's got 2 visits in the second. This will just settle Sue down.
And that was an obvious miss-hit off the break.
Yeah,
She's caught the side of the front ball, and the players want to hit it flush, and that gives you a much deader hit. And by her cutting across the face of that that front ball of the triangle of colors, that obviously takes the cue ball flying off the table.
Yeah, with all the power that was put into the break as well, all the body movement that was in it.
Time out.
All adds to danger, Jim, doesn't it?
I think we looked on that replay. We saw it almost looked like she chipped the cue ball, right, onto the pack. And,
but it's plain sailing here for Sue. 2 visits in hand. Just got the awkward 8-ball, which she could just use the 2 shots to set it up.
Tell you what, look at Sue Thompson there. She's just got that hint of a smile on her face. She knows that she's well in control of this final already, Lee.
Well, she's taking the yellow off the red to free it open.
Just overdrew the cue ball, but having freed the 8, she can use her second visit right here, so no problem.
Second visit.
I'm not so sure. Can she still get through to this 8? Boy, that was an anxious moment. I'll bet her heart skipped a beat there. In the end, home and dry. Sue Thompson, a mainstay in the ladies' final. 2-0 ahead of Emma Cunningham.
Third frame.
Sue Thompson
to break.
Sets the white down. Frame 3. Will the break be kind?
Open table.
And it's an open table, so Emma comes to the table with a choice of reds or yellows. It's a good spread. The top left-hand corner, you've got the yellow, which is slightly hampered by the red, so it may be red she chooses. So it's a red into the top right-hand corner. It's a good shot.
Red ball's in play.
Emma needs something, Lee. She needs something to be able to settle her nerves and get into this match. She gave the first frame away.
Yeah, it was a lack of cue ball control, and this finish here is all about cue ball control, because all the yellows are in the middle of the table and they could hamper in this finish. It's a good pot, but just not the red on top of the yellow.
As I say, I did have the chance to referee Emma earlier on in this tournament, and she certainly didn't play anything like the final of 12 months ago. And I thought, well, perhaps she can get through to the final, she'll get on the 8-foot table, she'll have that little bit more confidence, but she certainly just seems to be struggling with her game at the moment here. And it was a long pots on that occasion that were costing her. We saw her miss one and go for one in the first frame, and she missed by a long way.
One problem red, the one nearest the yellow, the bottom end of your table.
I mean, she's probably going to take the two reds at the top of the table in the next two shots and try and negotiate a path between the three yellows in the middle of the table. So it's all about the cue ball control here.
You know, that one red I alluded to certainly passes to the bottom right corner. If she can drop nicely onto the red next to it, there's every chance to play position.
Yeah, she needs to get as close to her work as possible here. She doesn't want too much angle on this next red, and that looks pretty good. Maybe just run too far.
Just see the cue ball there, almost found its way into that middle pocket. Just seemed to turn a little bit at the end, so whether it's just a little bit of chalk or a mark on the table, a finger mark.
Well, she's slightly over on a positional shot. She wanted to be the other side so she could just hold on the rail or just stun the cue ball. Now the white's going to have to travel over the other side of the table. She may be settling for the double.
Very close as to whether this goes. Now she's having a look at it. I would have thought she might have checked before she played the shot.
I think that goes in there, it's not a problem, but it's actually making it. That's going to be the problem for her.
I'm not so sure the double was a makeable option there, Sean. Having a look at it, you know, where it would have contacted the cushion, it might have been a half a pocket at best.
Yeah, it was half a pocket, but I just thought it guaranteed position. So I thought she was a little bit tentative on that, a little bit nervous, and it didn't really threaten the pocket. And she just left Sue with an open table, and the warning bells must be sounding in Emma's ears at the moment. One good pot.
You just see how solid that cue action was there, Jim. There was no movement. It was a lot better than that first frame. We saw a very edgy shot from her.
I also think that, you know, even in the form of her shot selection, sent a message, because she shot the only yellow that was going to leave the red on if she missed. A very confident, you know, message sent over to Emma Cunningham.
Well, that's exactly right, Jim. That's a sign of a player who's got the confidence in her own ability. Now she's got a couple of frames under her belt.
But what happened is she made a good pot, but she didn't get the positional side right. So she's had to play a shot where she just ducked behind one of the yellows, which gives Emma another opportunity where probably she shouldn't have come out of seat again in this frame. I think she can just get through to the edge of the red, but I don't think rolling to the cushions is a shot. She needs to make something happen here.
Yeah, you can see from that shot, she can see the right-hand edge of the red. So, like you say, it's going to be
30 seconds.
Extremely awkward here to find a safety or a safe position.
I think if it doesn't pot, you just have to keep the red live, just hope that Sue falls over on the yellows. But how the yellow balls are positioned, you can't see it happening.
Well, sometimes, Lee, you've got to leave it and just try and keep the percentages working for you, and I agree. That's probably as good a shot as she could have played, assuming that she's blocked that yellow from going into the center pocket. If she hasn't, then, well, then it's really nothing more than a visit.
Went to the top side of the pocket, but the weight made it drop in. Really, you just cannot see Sue missing from here. Cue ball in the middle of the table, then the frame's over because it's just straight stop shots. Perfect position. Yellow on the top right. Stop the cue ball dead.
Yeah, you see that rock solid cue action again there as well, Jim. Say, sure sign that Sue is feeling confident here. And this is early stages, it's turning into a rout.
And why shouldn't she feel confident? Because her opponent has made mistakes, and that's all she wants.
That's one trait you see from all the top players in the world of 8-ball pool here. Great cueist to a person.
Oh, she left herself a tricky angle on this 8. I still expect her to make it, but she could have played a better positional shot.
Wow. Lee, you called it. It could have been a lot easier. Mark that one down.
And this is a test now for Emma. It's a tough red into the top left-hand corner, but it's a red she must make.
You knew that was in. One too many chances. And what could have been 3-0 is 2-1 instead. Emma Cunningham, the defending champion, off the mark.
What a pivotal frame that could prove to be, and could have been 3-0. It's now 2-1, and Vicky, you know what this is all about. But you were holding your breath for her, I think. She got a second chance. It's as simple as that. Yeah.
It was a massive frame for Emma. She had to win that frame. I mean, she's looking really, really nervous out there, and that would give her big confidence now. That frame.
I was going to say though, it's so hard playing against someone like Sue, because you know once she gets in, she's so dead eye on it. She never misses much, does she?
She's such an aggressive player. She doesn't miss nothing at all. And I mean, to get that chance, that opportunity, Emma really needed it.
She's got that concentration back. Look at that face, says it all. Is she going through what she's going to do next, or is she just going over the last frame?
Well, hopefully, I think now we'll see a different player in Emma. So she's smiling now, a little bit more relaxed. So I think we're going to see some.
I think we just saw the whole process there, which is she's calmed it down, she's gathered her thoughts, and she's back to the game. And let's do the same with our commentary team.
Frame number 4, 2-1 to Sue Thompson.
Red ball's potted.
And red potted
no flash
off the
photography,
break.
please.
And we'll see if this match turns around now. It's going to be difficult for Sue to erase the memory of that 8 that she missed.
Yeah, she's probably going to choose the red balls here, Jim. She's just got one awkward one, which is nearest the yellow by the 8 ball in the bottom left-hand corner. She's just working out how to disturb that area, I think.
Red ball's in play.
She could do it first shot, though.
30 seconds.
Swing the cue ball over. Makes it pot more missable, but one good shot. Frees the red. And that's why she missed the red.
She was extremely lucky there. She
Yellow
knocked one
balls
of
in play.
Sue's yellows into the middle pocket. It's just brushed past the middle pocket. So that's another long shot missed there by Emma Cunningham after knocking a great ball in on the last frame.
And more luckily for Emma, the red's gone up the table and blocked the yellows into the top left-hand corner. So a little bit of fortune there.
A dream final. The top 2 seeds
30 seconds.
making their way through the brackets, and in fairness, none of them were really threatened. Now, every one of them, every one of their matches, comfortable wins, but that's a foul. She didn't get a cushion after contact, and she actually nominated that on herself, didn't she?
Yeah, how careless was it? Because she tried to catch it on the way down. She's missed it, come off the bottom rail, and just caught the edge of the yellow on the way back, and didn't hit a cushion. That's why it was a foul.
And I think the reason you saw her put her hand up and say it was 2 because Melvin was actually stood on the other side of the table, and he couldn't see where it had contacted the cushion, that yellow. So fair play to Sue there, and that's the sort of player she is, though, Sue Thompson. You know, if she plays a foul, if nobody in the room will have seen it, she knows she's played a foul, she'll admit to it.
Oh, this is a golden opportunity here for Emma. All the reds in the open. She's going to clear these up, no problems, and tie the match up.
I think Emma relished the prospect of once again having to prove her superiority. As we've noted, she beat Sue in last year's final. And you know, winning one of these matches, some people could put down to luck. Winning it twice? And she's looking pretty good right now. She certainly will have taken the initiative away from Sue Thompson.
And Emma too has got a very good cue action, so it does suit her on the 8-foot table. You just feel like sometimes Sue looks a little bit more composed, but this lady's a world champion, and that'll give her as much confidence as she'll need.
Yeah, and Sue's got to be a bit careful here when she does get back to the table, that she doesn't try and become too aggressive. So she's made a couple of mistakes now in this match. It'll be quite easy if she comes out and tries to bully her way through the game, Lee, that she makes mistake after mistake and keeps handing frames to Emma.
Well, it's a fair score too. If she takes these out, it's 2-all. They've both made mistakes.
But none bigger than that 8 that Sue missed to go 3-0 in front. I mean, that one just stands out in my mind because it's allowed Emma Cunningham to seize the moment. She's won the last 2 and leveled it up here in Blackpool. Frame 5, she's got the break. And at 2-2,
Sue Thompson to break.
Sue Thompson desperately needs a ball down off the break here in frame 5.
She's made one. It was a red into the middle, and she's made a yellow.
Red and yellow
into
balls
the
potted.
corner as well. She probably didn't want that yellow to go. She's been quite happy to see that stay over the corner pocket. It's probably yellow. She's going to go, Lee, do you think?
That's probably because she's got the easier starter in the middle pocket. But did you see her body language? She looked a little unsettled to me.
And I think there was a little frustration in this break too. A load of power.
And again, you know, she's
Yellow
lashed
balls
at a
in play.
double. She is unsettled in this match for sure.
We've seen her lose her way before. It's that slow, steady pace that seems to combat Sue Thompson the best, and most notably Linda Ledbetter. She really seemed to have the measure of Sue Thompson, and she played a very similar style to Emma Cunningham.
Yeah, Sue's over the last few years, I know she didn't win the title last year. She was getting used to just having this crown, and she tended to win it easily. Whereas now, you know, she's got to fight for it, and that's how it should be.
She'll certainly know she's in a battle here if Emma manages to take this finish out and take them lead in this match for the first time, 3 frames to 2. So there's still some work for Emma to do here, though.
There's a tricky little shot into the top right-hand corner, but she turned the table back over to Sue Thompson.
And no danger, just a matter of knocking in that first red here, and she's taken a tricky one. This would do Sue's confidence a lot of good if she could dish up the remaining 5 reds and 8 ball. Keep that head of steam. And if nothing else, hold serve. Now that kick, that cue ball jumped. As soon as it contacted that red, it jumped into the air.
Yeah, it's more noticeable with the spots on the cue ball. You can see it spin.
So there's an interesting little fact about this business of cleaning the cue ball as well, and with the spots on it. Something referees brought up is when you pick it up and clean it, you're not actually putting it back in its same position. So it could be that you've been cueing at a spot previously, and now you're queuing at a white part of the board. Do you think that makes any difference, Lee?
Possibly just in the line of vision, but I think the more you get used to the spotted cue ball, it wouldn't make any difference after a matter of time. So he's got the... Sue's got the...
Oh, that jumped out of the middle. All the spin on the cue ball, you could see it, but that ball jumped straight back out of the middle pocket. And look at the shrug of the shoulders. Watch this.
And that was because of all the side and the power played of the shot, where she probably didn't need to put all that much side on it. And she's talking to somebody in the audience, shaking her head. This is like alarm bells for Sue at the moment, because she's having chances, and if Emma starts to fly, she's in trouble. But yet again, cue balls run out of position.
This just seems like, you know, a very half-hearted effort from Emma. I mean, she can't let Sue off.
Well, I think that's what she's just done.
I mean, how strong are you going to get when you know your opponent's letting you off from situations like that? 8 down, and Sue Thompson breathes a sigh of relief. After that ball coming back onto the table, she still manages to keep her nose in front, 3-2.
You can see there, she's not happy, she's shaking, she's talking to her supporters who are just behind her.
Couple misses, unforced errors, really the storyline in this ladies' final. The break in rack number 6 to Emma Cunningham, the defending champion and top seed in this event.
Red ball's potted.
It's interesting there on that break then, Jim. He seemed to take a lot off that. And we saw Sue Thompson in the last frame really launch herself into the ball. So you'll see Emma, it was almost a very short follow through. Don't know, we'll see again here.
Yellow ball's nominated.
She's followed through a long way, but there was no great power.
Yeah, probably worried about knocking the cue ball off the table again.
Yellow ball's in place.
Yellow's in play.
Now she has got the option here of playing the plant in the bottom right hand corner on those yellows. She's just having a look. She could stop the cue ball dead if she made it. No, that's probably the correct shot. She shouldn't be bridging over and taking the yellow into the top right hand corner. It's really missable. So she's just trying to clear the area up at the bottom of the table, which is the correct way. 8 ball looks a little bit of trouble though, because it's right sandwiched between those yellows and the red on top of it.
I just wonder, like, could she try and develop it off one of these 2 yellows? I mean, it's only going to take a little nudge off it just to move that red away.
Yeah, she's just got to make sure she's got a positional shot afterwards, though.
I think she could do it here. She's going to, she could stun across into the black and leave herself in the yellow into the right hand corner.
Or she might decide to play it in off the red, and if she does, she just has to be careful that she doesn't take the pot for granted.
Good shot, developed the 8, and is just giving her every chance now of winning at this visit.
She would like the 8 ball to go in either of the bottom 2 pockets. As you can see from that camera angle, it does. So it's a yellow into the top right hand corner. Just needs to run the cue ball through, and this is an opportunity to get back level in this match.
You hear there, the Emma Cunningham supporters have found their voices again. They know she's got a great chance to come 3 each.
And this is the first time, if she completes a finish, that she's done it in her first visit at the frame.
And what kind of a message does this send to Sue Thompson? She needs this 8. It's there. Back again. As we restarted, nothing in it. 3-3 between Cunningham and Thompson.
Get the feeling it's going to go all the way with these two at the moment, and Vicky, you're watching it very interestedly here from the sidelines, but it's weird, isn't it? We both said you can't give Sue too many chances, but Emma's popped out and done a great frame there.
Yes, she has. I say that the frame she won the couple before that, it was a massive frame, and you can see the difference in her play there, clearing up like that. It's going to be quite interesting, I think, from now on. Sue's making quite a few mistakes already.
Yeah, the commentary pointed it out. You know, Sue, when she gets rattled, she is genuinely rattled, isn't she?
You need to stay with Sue, really. I mean, if she goes ahead, that's it. She'll just steamroll over you. But if you keep with her, she'll get really... I think she's getting a bit nervous now because she knows that Emma's capable of, you know, doing well now.
Red ball's potted.
Frame number 7. A ball made off the break. Sue Thompson at the table.
She was extremely lucky, fortunate there as well, that she nearly lost the cue ball into that middle pocket. I think it got cannoned away from it. See it here again now. See, it's a classic mistake again. She was extremely lucky there. It didn't get cannoned away, it's just hit the jaw and stayed out.
30 seconds.
The ladies' final, a race to 8, best of 15. The same two finalists as last year.
And the same finalists as the year before as well. So first time it went to Sue, but the second time was Emma was in the final. She became the champion of the world. And she's just got one tricky yellow ball, which is on the right hand side rail, just where the red's blocking it, so she'll need to attack that sooner rather than later. Just at the top of the screen now, so needs to be careful bridging over it. And as she snookered herself.
She's okay, you can see that one to the bottom right.
Yeah, might have the perfect angle on this to try and cannon into that yellow. The awkward one Lee alluded to.
Oh, that's a great shot. Really unfortunate for the red to go and sit on the yellow. But that's always a danger when you run into balls. You can't guarantee where they're going to come out.
She's just looking there, see if she can get the cue ball between those two reds and just flick the yellow in.
I mean, the option she could have is to play the yellow nearest to the 8 ball into the centre and possibly flick the yellow in off the red.
30 seconds.
It just depends how much room there is around that area where the cue ball is.
That's a great shot. Terrific effort.
Well, if that red is blocking the yellow ball, you'll see Sue screw the cue ball into that red where she's pointing. But I think she thinks it just goes in. So it's a delicate little shot required here for Sue Thompson.
And then some, Lee. That's why she's taken so much time. Oh, she needed a bit of running as she finished on this yellow. The crowd thinks so. And I think, judging by her body language, so does she.
Yeah, Lady was on her side there, Jim.
That's sometimes what you need to become the world champion.
Boy, this is some effort. What a reply. Now we're starting to see a ladies' final that we expected. Oh, the 8 again.
How many times have we seen Sue miss an 8 ball in this match? I'm sure that's the 3rd black that she's missed in this match.
And that's the thing, she could have been out of sight by now and had one hand on the trophy.
Well, that's just nerves. No other reason.
She did all the work to secure that frame and missed at the last hurdle.
Now it's important that Emma makes Sue think about that miss. She must win this frame, because this could be a vital frame in this match. It's not the fact that she wins a frame to get a frame on her side, it's how she wins it. I'd just like to see Emma, though, have the cue ball under a little bit more control. She just keeps running out of position, having to pull pots out. And that only just went.
But she's got the luxury of having that red next to the 8 for cover. Sue doesn't feel like she's going to get another chance in this frame.
I think she's just kicking herself, Jim. She knows she should be well ahead in this match. She should be close to the winning line. She probably should have lost it. One frame Emma should have won in this match, and that was a break and dish she did.
I mean, it looks like it's going to go 4-3 to Emma, and this could easily be a 6-1 score line in favor of Sue. Just take those missed blacks back.
And she's played a bad shot again there, Lee. Exactly what you said a few minutes ago.
Yeah, cue ball control in this match so far has been poor.
Is she trying to make this into the bottom right?
She's missed it.
Wasn't even close, to be honest, Lee. And has she lost the cue ball?
I think she's been lucky. I think she's angled her.
Well then, if she has, look at Sue. Yeah, she is angled.
There's a wry smile from Sue there, but Emma pulling her face.
I think she's doing a bit of sign language there. I didn't quite work out what she meant, but it wasn't good.
Well, no, she is looking at this black. Quite possibly she may be able to get through to it. I think she can.
Tough shot, though.
I'm not convinced.
No, you're right, Lee. She's just tapped the table. I've got a feeling that's, yeah, I'm acknowledging you, you got lucky. Most people will tap the table, congratulations. Well, maybe that was a bit sarcastic.
I think she's trying to just curve around here.
Hello! What a shot from Sue Thompson there! Look at her! Terrific black! And just like that, 4-3 to the 6-time world champion. The ImproveYourPool.com World Championship for 2006, and if luck has anything to do with it, certainly Emma is in the driver's seat. Unfortunately for her, those cards aren't doing their charm right now. She trails Sue Thompson by 4 frames to 3, and she steadies herself to break into frame 8 and yellow down. Boy, the way she hit that.
Yellow balls
I was just about to say, Lee, that, if Sue has one huge advantage, it's in the break.
Yeah, she's got a great break, Sue has, but those are split well, and sometimes you don't need to hit the balls hard to get a good split. If you time the break right, and this is what Emma's just done there, all the balls moved from that area. Fortunately, she made a ball, and she's still at the table.
Yeah, case in point right there, eh, Sean?
Yeah, well, we saw that in the previous frame she broke off. Nice soft break, good split, and she ran the frame out.
30 seconds.
So the 30-second announcement. Each player allowed 60 seconds with which to play their shot.
Red for the ball, and that was the only one she really had to take.
Yeah, and she hasn't played a good positional shot there. She needs to be able to get through to the red into the top left-hand corner. I'm not sure if she can. She's got the one in the middle, though, so she's okay. Now, the problem she's got is those 3 yellows on the left-hand side by the 8 ball. Just a little bit of a guard for the red on the rail, so she'll need to negotiate around those at some point.
I wonder what's going through Emma's mind right now, because the fantastic 8 that Sue made in the last frame, were really, they were there for the taking, and Emma slipped up, probably thought she got lucky with a cushion hook around that corner pocket, angled, and in the end, Sue whacked that 8 into the corner pocket. Well, she astounded us.
Yeah, she jacked her cue up, so she may have just jumped over the edge of the angle.
And you know something? I saw more emotion from Sue Thompson at the finish of that frame than I've seen when she's been awarded the trophy.
Yeah, I think she realised it was a big frame, and she'd made the mistake, and she'd been let off, and she knew she couldn't afford to make another one.
Well, Emma's making light work of this clearance now, Lee. She's dropped back into position nicely. She's just come back off the rail here. Leave herself a roll in the red into the middle. And she's got the red into the bottom left.
I mean, the problem that Emma has had has been the cue ball. She has lost this cue ball so many times on easy finishes, and that's been the difference. She just puts that cue ball in a good place. She's a great potter. So she just needs to find the gap, which she's done. One good pot required, and she's probably got the 8 ball on the right-hand centre.
The frames that Emma has won, she's really looked quite convincing. Oh, she so nearly fluked it, but close only counts in horseshoes.
Yeah, when she was queuing up this, I didn't think she was going to pot it. She looked like she was hitting it thick, and she did fall into the cushion. I don't think she sighted the shot right, because she was a good way off that. But she's been fortunate where the reds landed and the cue ball. And Sue's looking there with a tip, I think, to just clip off the edge of that yellow and roll the white through. No, she's attacking.
30 seconds.
I think Sue's best game is to attack. I think when she starts thinking about defending, she's breaking stride. She's not putting her best foot forward, Lee, and you know something? She is without a doubt the best potter in the ladies' game, and she's got to stick to her best game.
That's right, Jim. She's a very good potter. She just makes that odd mistake, which, you know, you think she's done all the work, then she'll just like miss an easy black or something. And it can only be nerves.
Not too sure why she decided to play that off the red, because she was playing on the only yellow that red covered.
I don't know, Jim. No answers.
Yeah, you've got most of them, Lee. I can't expect all of them from you. Well, she knows she's going to have to make a tricky yellow. If she drops this in, you know, sure to land on that yellow to the corner she's standing nearest.
But what she did when she played the yellow and off the red, she developed the red. So a little bit surprised that.
Yeah, she's just studying this and she's taking her time. She knows. Is she looking at laying a snooker here? She is. Yeah. And I don't think she's made it.
She's left that ball.
I think she's left it. Now that, if she has, that is a massive mistake from Sue Thompson.
How many times have we seen it in this match? Sue Thompson at the table, looking like she's going to clear up, lacks of concentration.
Well, she obviously wants it so badly, Lee, that she's out thinking herself.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what all the emotion was about. She was devastated when she lost the title last year to Emma. And the only way to erase that memory is to win it here today, but not with shots like that. A great 8 from Emma Cunningham, and back to 4-4. Now it's a best of 7 for the title.
I think she's saying, I know Sue's under a bit of pressure and she keeps letting me back in this match, and I'm going to come up and grab that trophy straight from Sue Thompson.
We heard the Cunningham camp there at the end of that frame. They found their voices again. They're saying she was just having a little look at them and enjoying the moment. Sue Thompson isn't enjoying it.
Well, Sue knows that she should be well ahead in this match, and this is just really careless just to leave her straight on the red.
She walked straight over to the pocket. I think she knew that she made a mistake. As soon as she struck that yellow, she walked straight over.
9th frame.
And wide open.
Sue Thompson to break. 4 frames all.
Frame 9. Sue Thompson. Oh, unlucky. The pool gods don't forget, Lee, and these balls right now
time running.
have a memory.
That's right, and if Sue Thompson was to lose this final, she won't speak for about a week, because she's had enough chances already to have won this match.
Got kicked into that side pocket. Desperately unlucky, but either way, it brings Emma to the table.
And the reds look nicely spread here, Jim. I think, as Lee alluded to earlier, if she can keep control of the cue ball here, she shouldn't really have too much trouble, but straight away it looks like she might have just lost position.
No, I think she's all right, because she's in the area, she's got choice of balls. It's just, I think that red in between the two yellows will go into the right centre. Yeah, there's plenty of room round. careless again. She's just not watching what the cue ball's doing. But I think that the difference is, with this cue ball, it does play a little bit heavier, so whether the girls are struggling to get the cue ball around the table, that could be a factor in this match.
Emma has never been in front in this year's final. She's been at level pegging, 2-2, 3-3, now again at 4-4.
So she's right into the bottom corner. She'd be happy that that stayed over the pocket and gone in.
Yellow ball's in
she's
play.
just tied another one up in the top right-hand corner. But it just seems to be mistake after mistake by both players here. I don't think anybody is wrestling. Well, they're wrestling with their own selves, aren't they, rather than trying to win the tournament.
It's always the toughest person to beat, Lee.
Sue's just developed her ball at the bottom of the table. It was awkward. She's developed that into the middle. So, and she's probably left herself an angle that, knowing Sue, that she'll look to use that ball maybe to attack that red and yellow that's stuck together.
Yeah, she's moved an awkward yellow, promoted it into the middle of the table, where she can develop her only other awkward yellow. So she's in prime position.
Time running.
Smooth sailing for both of these ladies into today's final. I mean, neither one of them threatened in any of their
30
matches.
seconds.
They're so far apart from most of the other ladies. And certainly...
Yeah, well, I actually predicted that with one or two of the locals here. I know Natalie Madden, she was in this event and she had quite a lot to say about it, and I just said, well, look, it's quite easy. Sue turns up, she bashes everybody in her half of the draw and meets Emma in the final. Prediction came right.
A very dodgy double or combination, Lee, as it's termed in North America.
Yeah, and even if she makes a combination...
Sorry, not a double, a plant.
Yeah, even if she makes a combination, though, she's still got one tied up at the top, so... I don't see the value in playing it, Jim.
No, not at all.
And that's why she hasn't. But she's just let Sue have another opportunity to win the frame.
Well, you see that yellow nearest the right-hand side pocket. If Sue can get on that yellow with the proper angle, she can easily open up the awkward one.
And with all those yellows in the top half of the table, Jim, almost certain to leave herself on one.
Well, she's got the perfect angle on the yellow to the top right corner to clear that yellow off the right-hand cushion.
Yeah, the only danger with that, she's going to run into the yellow and into the red. And the red could then disturb one of the other yellow, but she's played a great shot there, Jim.
Yeah, she played that with a lot of control.
And one stat for Thompson, every time she's played in this championship, she's got to the final, and that's an amazing record.
Unprecedented record. In fairness then, Lee, I think it's safe to say that she doesn't book any appointments this time of year?
No, she certainly books in for the duration.
Normally books herself a nice holiday straight afterwards on the prize money.
This is what she does best, though, when she gets her head down and just gets on with her business. Don't try and outthink yourself. And this 8 doesn't desert her once again. Sue Thompson just in front, 5-4 of the holder, Emma Cunningham. The tournament's top seed to break in frame number 10. And again, it looks like the cue comes off the side of the white. And again, pockets of ball off the break.
And it looks a very good split as well. All the balls again in the middle of the table.
I noticed Sue very quickly looking over her shoulder at her family too, as if to say, well, I mean, I hit him 10 times harder than that, and I'm praying for a ball.
That was an excellent shot there, because she was in danger straight away there of maybe knocking that red towards the yellow that's so close to the bottom right-hand corner pocket. It was a nicely controlled shot there. She stopped the cue ball and just a little flick on the red. And these are looking quite nicely for Emma here to maybe break and finish. and level the match up.
Yeah, the problem which she has got though, Sean, is the red on the left-hand bottom corner. There's a yellow right on top of it, and she needs to attack that area soon, and I can't see how she's going to get into it. Whether she can just come inside now with side and move the yellow off. And then she's played with the side, and that's why she's missed the red.
In play.
Wasn't a plain sailing finish, that one.
One more look at the miss. This is time for Sue to let Emma know that she is going to dictate the pace and the style of play here. She completes the clearance, not easy, but she's well capable.
But every time she's been in this position, she looks like winning the fray, and then just hands it back to Emma. You know, she just sometimes puts a little bit more pressure on herself than she needs. So she's got the yellow into the right centre. She's got the option to take the yellow out on the right hand side into the bottom right hand corner, but she'll want to go up the table at some point to negotiate those 3 yellows at the top.
Yeah, it could be that she leaves that one, the bottom right hand side of the table, until last. She plays through on that, and black into the left hand middle.
It's just a position on the 8 ball for that one though, Sean. She would need an angle to run down. She'll probably have to take the 8 into the left centre. So she's just having a look now whether to take it or leave it. I don't think she really knows yet.
And she doesn't have the angle on the red to the top right to get into those yellows, but at a glance now it looks like they're available anyway. She just follow through.
She needs to, Jim.
Doesn't need to. Absolutely. Why fix it if it's not broken? But Lee, I think you've already alluded to the shot that's going to be the key to victory or defeat here. She's going to have to get right behind this yellow on the right-hand side and follow through, knocking it in to play that 8 to the left side pocket. Which means it's going to have to be played at a little bit of pace.
Well, that looks perfect. Cue ball running away from the cushion. She can just bring the white a little bit away from the rail.
Wheeling that cue ball on. And again, looks like a great finish from Sue. No mistakes this time. Sue Thompson, 6-4 up on Emma Cunningham.
2 girls on a seesaw in Blackpool, but it's not the fun fair. This is the World Championship. And I tell you what, this match has seesawed both ways, but finally Sue is starting to play. You can see the emotion now. She's got the edge, hasn't she?
That's it. I think Sue has found a bit of form now, just at the right time. I mean, it's not the best both players have played so far, but like I said, Sue's looking good again. It can still go either way.
I was about to say, I mean, Emma doesn't look in the mood to just give up, is she? She's a world champion in her own right. She's beaten Sue. She knows her game. She also knows, and she's seen it already, that she can rattle her.
That's it. Sue's had the first opportunities, obviously let Emma back in, and Emma's took out the clearances to keep in this match. Still anybody's game.
It's a good advert for the women's game, isn't it?
It is, definitely, definitely.
OK, well, as you can see, Sue is at the table, the 6-time world champion to break off. Let's go back to commentary.
Frame number 11, 6-4. And she's kept the cue ball on the table this time, and that looks to be a useful split.
Red ball's potted.
Yeah, Reds look the ball here, don't they, Lee?
Yeah, there's just a red and a yellow close on the right-hand side near the middle pocket. If that goes, then you'd fancy her to take the reds and clear up. She's just surveying the situation now.
As we see the break one more time, so much power still follows through. When Sue is on song, there's only one player that she has trouble with.
Yeah, and that's Sue Thompson herself. I've refereed her a few occasions, and I say, she's the only person I think who can be beaten. She beats herself up, and that's what started to happen early on in this match. She showed a lot of nerves, and she obviously is feeling the pressure. She desperately wants this title back, and she's now looking in great shape to regain that crown from Emma Cunningham.
Ideally, she'd like to hold the cue ball roughly what it is and take the red into the top left. She's had to run in it. Still get the wrong angle. May have to do a little bit of work with the cue ball. But there shouldn't really be any problems.
She's got tremendous cue power, Lee. If she's ever got to make that cue ball sing, that's never a problem.
Yeah, she's just got to be a little bit careful because there's a yellow in the top right-hand corner. If she starts bringing the cue ball around the angles, that could be a factor.
We already saw one ball jump out of a pocket on her. Look out!
And the cue ball
and it is
in the pocket.
It almost turned to stay on the table, but no such luck.
He actually did start to turn away then, Jim. And the
Time
gravity of it's just dropped it in.
Phenomenal.
You see here the spin on that ball, Jim.
How often have we seen it? When you have to start doing a little extra, it just turns.
And she keeps giving Emma lifelines.
Well, we were just starting to predict there that it was looking ominous for Emma in this final. And Sue Thompson has just handed the initiative back, certainly in this frame.
And you know something, Lee? A lot of people in the crowd, a lot of people at home might think that Sue was very unlucky. There's no reason for her to be anywhere near that side pocket.
No, she just got into it too much. But yet again, Emma's struggling to stay in position. And that's why she's missed that one. I mean, this should have been a routine finish, and you know, she could end up falling over again here. And she only got herself to blame if she does. And she's just come far enough. She's okay, she can have the choice of yellows into the centre.
Just wondering, ideally she might want to take the middle one here if it would go, but I'm not quite sure from that shot whether it goes, like.
I think she's looking at the top one and to take the... They all go, it's just personal choice now. The problem with the middle one is you're running away, it's the wrong angle. It's probably best taking the top one or the bottom one and bringing your cue ball either up the top of the table or around the back of the bottom.
I was just thinking she might stun back off it.
Yeah,
30
she's just got to
seconds.
make her mind up now.
She's already seen what happened when Sue asked a little too much of the cue ball.
As I said, she stunned it. Oh, it's like she's the old Chinese snooker. Struck again. She might just be able to know. She can get to the side of it. She's okay.
But she keeps running out of position, having to pull shots out. And this is a big shot for Emma.
Into the center of the table. She needs this. Right into the throat of the corner pocket. Emma Cunningham will not go away. She's not going to give it up lightly. 6-5, she trails Sue Thompson. And just like that, she underlines what we...
And I think she knew there then, before that ball even reached the boat line, where it was going.
Yeah, just no reason to be there, Sean, at all. She, as I said, she just underlined what we had
12th frame
mentioned, and
Emma Cunningham to break.
you know, when she's right,
Trailing 6 frames
she's
to 5.
incomparable. Frame 12. Emma Cunningham right now, the holder of the World Championship, in the battle of her life to try and hold on to it. And for the first time,
Open table.
certainly in recent memory, she has come up dry.
Yeah, it looked like she just gave that little bit more then. And just look at the split there on the table. Reds are almost certainly the ball here for Sue.
Well, there's no real problems at all because the two reds at the bottom right-hand corner
Red
going in
balls
the
in
pockets. So just a matter of Sue keeping a concentration here because they're all in the open.
And that has been the problem though for Sue in this match, Lee. Keeping her concentration. We saw in the last frame she had a fairly straightforward finish and didn't take it out.
You know, it's interesting. I know that Sue represents Scotland even though she lives in England, and Emma Cunningham represents Northern Ireland even though she lives in England. But I asked Sue, you know, why she's so talented, why doesn't she do what a lot of the other top pool players have done and gone over to America for some of the riches in 9-ball? She says, well, I'd have to live there then, and I don't want to live there.
but the rewards are, as you know, Jim, massive. I mean, the ladies' game over here, this is the biggest tournament, but over there they have prize money which dwarfs the ladies' game over here.
But she'd have to leave home, Lee.
Yeah, if she doesn't want to do it, that's her choice.
Nicely positioned. And now, just weighing up in her mind, she's thinking 3 shots ahead.
Just thinking where she's looking at taking the black here, Lee.
Yeah, I think she's thinking either taking the red into the bottom left or dropping the one in the middle and taking the red in the top right. Whichever way she feels most comfortable with.
30 seconds.
Well, I think she's trying to decide where to attack the 8.
I'll tell you something, she's played a great shot in the end, but the risk factor in that shot was incredible, really.
Well, I think she would have been on the 8. I think she would have preferred the red to go in, because now she's going to have to let the cue ball travel.
Or could she try and stay close to where the red is, just dolly this in, and it'd be a tougher 8. But at least she'd have a shot at it, Lee. Letting that cue ball travel, space would be at a premium to where she could land. It almost looks like she could just try and flick this in and...
30 seconds.
Yeah, she's just looking now. I mean, she can hold it. She doesn't think she can.
No,
she's not on it.
Not even close. She tried to check the cue ball and come back down the left-hand side, and she's nowhere near.
Total snooker.
It seems like there's 2 Sue Thompsons out there, and I think her alter ego is just taking over again then.
What it has done is left an opportunity for Emma to tie this match up, and you know, she's got to make sure that she does if she gets an opportunity. If she can bring this to 6-all, it's anybody's game.
And the pressure would certainly be on Sue Thompson, because of the 2, Lee, she's the one that has been exposed a little more.
Yeah, she's had more than enough chances to be sat in the dressing room by now. I mean, she wins a frame, loses a frame herself, and Emma just has to hold herself together. I mean, by the chances that Emma's had as well off Sue's mistakes, she could quite easily have been in the dressing room by now herself. But it's all down to Sue Thompson. But it's 6-5, lots to play for.
It's looking like she's just trying to develop that yellow a little bit on the bottom rail and leave a snooker. Just buy herself a little bit of time. Maybe even extract a foul from Sue. Give her the luxury of 2 visits.
I'm a little bit surprised where she's left it there. I mean, you know, she's going to let Sue have a free go at this 8 ball. We've seen what's happened before.
Tempting fate.
And should she contact the 8 ball and leave the cue ball up the top end of the table or near the rail, she'll put Emma under a little bit of pressure.
She's just weighing up that black into that middle pocket. You see from the overhead shot that she was pointing at the black. I'm sure she thinks she could. That's what she's aiming to do here. Like you say, she's going to have a go at it.
And if she goes close, the cue ball will stop.
Foul.
But Emma's tactics have worked. She's extracted the foul, so...
And listen to the crowd. They want to see some more pool.
Again, the voices in the Emma camp have raised a few more decibels, and I'm sure if she was to take the finish out here, in danger of taking the roof off the Norbreck Castle here in Blackpool.
Well, can you see this match going 7-7 how it's going? It really deserves to go to the deciding frame.
Can't see her failing here.
She just needs to get that cue ball on a string, and it's been a piece of rope so far, so she needs to just keep the cue ball under wraps.
This game, as is the case in most individual sports, is all about self-belief. I mean, you put in countless hours of practice. You know, you want to turn it into a form of muscle memory, but it's concentration. It's all on the day.
And she still has her two visits remaining. And she's going to need him, and that's just careless. That's not nerves, that's just careless.
I just think she might have been a little bit undecided whether she should have taken the other one, because she'd already looked at it. Let's say got down very quickly and got down for that shot. And no, you say it was just carelessness.
Just no excuse for it, Sean.
Would you believe it? She had 2 visits. The yellows were in the open. I guarantee you, Emma Cunningham will remember that one. Sue Thompson deposits the 8, and that now leaves her just 1 frame short of an unprecedented 7th title. I can't believe that Emma failed at that visit. I think pure and simple carelessness, Lee.
Yeah, I know Sue's missed a few blacks, but if Sue was in that position rolling those footballs in, I mean, she was stretching a little bit, but I'm looking for an excuse where there isn't really one.
But even the way she set up for this, she walked over to it and set up to pocket that yellow like it was a hanger.
7 frames to 5.
Frame 13, the one Thompson hopes gives her a 7th world crown.
And what a big frame that last one was. It should be 6 each now, and it might be in the last shot that Anna Cunningham has played at this year's World Championships.
And what a bitter pill that would be to swallow.
I think she might be looking at taking reds here. The 2 reds, 2 yellows that are on that left-hand cushion.
Yeah, she's just showing you with the tip of a cue where she wants to
ball's in play.
Drive the cue ball down and bump the red out on the left-hand side rail. Looks a little bit straight.
30 seconds.
And the 8 ball looks tied up as well. So there's a little bit of work to be done before she finishes these reds off. I think she did try to move that, but she's come inside it. The option of taking the red into the top left-hand corner now. Very missable though. And missed it she has.
Yellow ball's in play.
You think Sue is going to have a little trouble dragging herself across the finish line in this one?
But at the moment, Emma's keep letting that winning line get a little closer for her and sort of pushing her over it, I think. Oh, good news, bad news. The good news is she's blocked the black off to the bottom left-hand corner.
Yeah. The bad news is it goes to the side pocket.
That's right. You leave Thompson with a chance to finish, and we all know her finishing ability.
I very much doubt that Emma could in any way, shape or form tell you she's content with her performance out there, win or lose. And Sue will probably say the same thing.
I think both players will walk away from this match thinking they should have won it, could have won it, and how have they lost it?
Well, certainly one of them will have lost it, Lee. And at the moment it's certainly looking like Emma Cunningham, because I say she just seemed to have been out of sorts all week. So when I've seen her play the match that I refereed, just, I don't know, she just didn't seem like the Emma. What you've got to remember as well is she's still only 19. She's still got, you know, she's still young.
I mean, Sue's made as many mistakes as Emma, but she's had more opportunities. And again, another mistake there, losing the cue ball. She's probably got a thin clip into the right centre, but that's about all. And the cue ball could go in off in the top left-hand corner.
Just to expand on what Sean was saying, she in fact became the youngest ever world champion last year. But only a matter of time, Lee. You just felt that Sue was going to have trouble finishing.
It's just the story of the match, isn't it? They're needing 2 or 3 chances.
And if Emma can take this chance here, it'll be her to break off in the 14th frame, a chance maybe to level the match and take us to a decider. And at the moment, I don't think we'd be banking against that, gentlemen, would we?
I just think there's no guarantee on anything at the moment, because they make good finishes, but then they miss the easy ones.
I know that Sue Thompson has lost to 3 other women in the final. I mean, sorry, 2 other, apart from Emma. She lost to Lisa Quick and Linda Ledbetter. So, you know, she has tasted defeat in this final on numerous occasions, but nobody is more decorated.
And that's a great shot from Emma. Use the key ball to hold on
to stop. Yeah, and I think it has done. There's the Cunningham camp there, looking on.
She would like both of them to drop. That's fine. Bring the cue ball back. She just makes sure that she comes high. She doesn't want to be low. A bit more care needed. That's a very good shot.
It was scheduled for 15 frames. If it went the distance, and we're only 1 short of that. 7-6 in favor of Sue Thompson. Frame 14 to come. Lack of success really on the break. And now Emma Cunningham with a chance to force a 1-frame decider. And listen to the crowd.
Yellow ball's potted.
Another great break. A bit
Red
more
ball's
power
dominated.
that time. Be holding yourself together is a problem.
Red ball's in play.
The 2 reds at the top left-hand corner will go in either pockets. You've got the one just to the left of the 8 ball, which she obviously will be taking the top left-hand corner, but she can take the lower one, the one above the 8 ball, into the top right.
Just holding her breath.
And hopefully for her, holding a nerve.
These are anxious moments too, even for Sue. You know, I mean, wondering,
30 seconds.
Is a chance going to appear? She knows she has the break in the next, but the break hasn't really been too friendly to Sue Thompson. Frame 14, 7-6 in favor of Thompson.
Needs to come past the yellow, and she hasn't. And that's a careless shot.
I'll tell you what, when she got down to play that, she just seemed to, like, her hand was shaking a little bit on the table. She's feeling the tension, I'm sure she is.
I think what she didn't do, she didn't say to herself, I want the cue ball there. She didn't pick a spot on the table where she wanted it. She just sort of played a positional shot, hoping that she was going to be on a red, rather than saying, that's where I want to be, like she's doing now. That's what I've got to go. Now she must make contact with the red here. She doesn't need to hit a cushion, but she needs to hit the red.
I think she might be trying to look at pot that red. She's missed it.
Foul, 2 visits. Yellow ball's in play.
What a golden
Time running.
opportunity now for Sue Thompson. A win is a win is a win, Sean.
But
Can you tell me what the final was like 4 years ago? You can
30
probably tell
seconds.
me who the winner was, but they just remember who got there, not how.
But it's had everything, hasn't it? It's had good finishes, it's had the mistakes, it's had the drama, you've had Sue roaring.
It's had it all, Lee.
I know, and it's not over yet. They've still got a lot of work to do in this finish. I know she's got 2, but she still needs to hold herself together. Well, she has got an extra visit, so she can just glance off the yellow and move the red away. She needs to make sure the red comes out of that area, so she can let the cue ball run round and bump the yellow off the top right hand side if she chooses to. I think it'd be the shot I would do. I'd waste a shot to make sure I free the other one. If she misses this yellow, which she has, that's just not thinking straight. She's moved. If she misses a double, she's still got a yellow tied up. If she wastes a visit, moves out of weight, she can develop the yellow as well and still have a chance at the finish.
Yeah, exactly right there, Lee. I'm going to say it's Sue Thompson 2 who's now appeared at the table, not Sue Thompson 1. The B game has come out again.
Do you think she's trying to just be too cute? You know, when you're under pressure and you know you're under pressure, you try and suppress it. You try and you almost look to make it too easy.
Well, she just played a terrible shot there and let Emma back in, and she just can't seem to win the match herself. She just keeps letting Emma in, and if Emma can just get herself together, she can win this world title, and she's got to start believing it again.
I think that's the key. She has to believe she can win. She knows she's getting the chances. I think she's got to just take it and run with it right now.
30
because
seconds.
the way it almost looks like Sue's got to be pushed over the finish line.
Yeah, I think she should look at her own CV. She's a world champion, and she could be a 2 world champion. That's a good shot. Now she should take the red, which is nearest to, bring the cue ball back roughly to where it is, then she's perfect. She shouldn't really be leaving the one in the middle of the table.
Looks like she is doing, Lee.
Could be a mistake. She needs to play positionally, you see, and our cue ball's been, and she's lost it so many times. If she just stuns that one in, she could be in the same position here and just having to roll these 2 reds in an automatic position on the 8 ball. But she is in good shape. And that's just nerves.
I mean, the pressure out there now, Jim, must be tremendous.
It's always been about nerves. I don't think either one of these players has ever settled in. We've saw flashes of what they are capable of, but I think from the start of this match, it was about whichever player was going to be able to play through the pressure.
Well, she needed a little bit of run there, and she got it. She could have quite easily stuck to that yellow.
But there is no problems here. It's just about Sue Thompson keeping herself together to win the world title. She's 4 balls away.
Without a doubt, Sean.
Slightly a little bit too high than she would have liked, so she'll have to take the other ball.
Yeah, just got to, again, take a little more time.
She's stretching. She doesn't want to foul the red over the pocket. Very close to it. And she's just about far enough.
She didn't cue that very nice, though.
And she's too close to work here. I know she's still got a shot to get onto it. She may have to leave herself a longer 8. But she's going to be stretching again. But I mean, really, she should take the finish out.
How many times have we said that, Lee? The 8 for the 2006 title. No doubt about it, Sue Thompson is without any doubt the best lady pool player on the planet. Look at her, delighted. She is the 2006 Improve Your Pool World Title holder.
Right, you see the emotion there. She's in with her supporters. They know what it means to Sue. And that is just a fantastic achievement. 7 times ladies world champion.
I think she's relieved more than anybody in the arena.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's a lot of rides out here in Blackpool, but that was a real roller coaster for Sue Thompson. She went through every emotion in that, Vicky, didn't she? But she came through, and I mean, she just hung on in there, didn't she?
She did, yeah. I say I've never seen Sue make so many mistakes. You know, obviously bringing it to the world final as well. You've got to feel a bit for Emma, you know, to hang in there and sort of started to come back a bit. But as you say, you forget how young she is. There's no doubt in my mind that Emma will be back again and winning more titles.
Thanks, Vicky. Well, the winners and the losers are with Jim.
Well, I'm here with certainly 2 very game competitors. Firstly, commiserations, Emma. It was a battle from the very start, and emotions played a major role in that final.
Yeah, I really had chances earlier on, didn't take them, but fair play to Sue. Sue did, and that's why she won.
Well, it's not easy coming back to defend your title. We've seen that over the years, and you were a champion for 12 months, and boy, you put up quite a fight here.
Yeah, I just didn't want to go out first round. You know, it's always hard coming back, and to get this far, I'm really pleased. It's just a shame I couldn't have played maybe the way I could play.
Well, unlucky, Emma. I mean, believe me, you've got the heart of a champion. I know you're going to be back here again. All the best. Well, I know a very happy winner. Boy, there were anxious moments there. A lot of eights went begging, and you made a terrific eight on that one shot to turn it around. I've never seen so much emotion from you.
Yeah, I was a bit emotional. I was just disappointed, to be honest. I missed a lot of balls in that match, which is not like me. I've played really well all week, and you know, to be missing blacks obviously against Emma, you can't afford to do it. And obviously, you know, she was crawling back at me all the time. You know, I just kept running out of position. The table was really, really fast. It was hard to try and control the white ball out there. But I'm just pleased that I got over the hurdle as you do, and I'm absolutely delighted, really, to win me 7th title. I'm chuffed with that.
Well, you two have owned this event over the last couple of years, and I imagine you're going to be booking an appointment here next year, same time, same channel?
Yes, definitely.
Now, Sue, I just want to ask you, too, you put in a lot of preparation for this, and as you said, 7 world titles. It's been tremendous. What a year it's going to be again.
Well, I mean, to actually win 7 world titles is an absolute dream. You know, I've been around a long time playing pool, and obviously Emma, she's up and coming. She's a young girl. I'm sure she, you know, obviously she's pushed me, beat me last year. I've got my revenge, Emma, sorry. But obviously she's a young player. But for me to win 7 titles, obviously the other 6 didn't mean nothing. Obviously I wanted this one, you know, just to keep going, because it does get harder. The ladies circuit and the ladies players, you know, they're all improving, obviously trying to get to my standard. But I need to go home and now really obviously practice hard on my game to improve myself. But can I just say a few words, Jim? I've just got a few thank yous, really. Obviously to all my sponsors that have actually come and supported me over the years. Also to Debbie for her support all week. And obviously to my mum and dad. I wouldn't be obviously a world champion if it wasn't for you. You know, thanks very much for everything you do. And obviously, you know, there's not much really left to say. I'm just a bit choked, to be honest, because and I lost a dear friend, Ronnie. Obviously he took me round to the circuit, and he passed away, so this one's for Ronnie.
Little doubt. Well said, Sue. Little doubt these two will be back. Thank you.
Well, what an emotional Sue Thompson there, and I think she described it brilliant when she said, you know, she was choked by the whole event, really, because, and I now understand, I think now, she was frustrated because everybody, including yourself, before the start of this said, Sue Thompson, Sue Thompson, and she didn't come out and give her a game, and that's what frustrated her so much.
There's so much pressure on Sue. I mean, without doubt, she is the best ladies player, and she has been for years and years and years, and to keep coming here and winning year after year is an amazing achievement. We forget, I mean, she's a fantastic player, but in herself, you know, what the emotions that she's going through when she's playing, you can see it all come out in that match there.
We've held her back from that cup for too long. She needs it. She wants that 7th title. Let's go to the presentations.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, a hand, please, for our presentation committee. Firstly, Tournament Director Alan Benton. And representing our sponsors, ImproveYourPool.com, Kay Beagle. And firstly, Emma Cunningham for the Czech, the runner-up. And now, once again, a delighted Sue Thompson with their winner's check. Ladies and gentlemen, once more, your 2006 ImproveYourPool.com champion, Sue Thompson.
just wonder, 7 titles, do you remember them all? But I get the feeling that Sue is so dedicated to this sport, and you heard her say in her interview, she's going to be back for that 8, but they've got to be just as special every time, and perhaps maybe more so every time she does it, because it's probably harder each time.
Yeah, I don't know how she motivates herself to come back a year after year and win the title. I mean, it's amazing. And I say it's her job. She plays pool, you know, every day, every night, exhibitions, and to keep going and winning more titles, and to have that hunger as well to want to do it is brilliant.
Would you agree with her? She says the standard's getting better. She's going to have to go back and practice harder, she thinks.
It is getting better. We've got a lot of new players on the scene now. The snooker players have all joined the pool ranks, so you know it is getting harder and harder.
And it bodes well for the game that Emma's still only 19. She's still at college.
Well, this is it. You know, like I said to you earlier, she's definitely going to be back in this final and winning more titles.
OK, my thanks to Vicky Layton. We both enjoyed this. It's been a cracking ladies' final. That's it from Blackpool, though. But once again, Sue Thompson is in 7th heaven. Bye-bye for now.